Hey guys, today's video is my summer clear out project pan finale, finally, as I like to say. I love doing project pans, but it gets so repetitive trying to use the same products over and over again, especially when you have a collection, you want to play with things, or new releases have come out, so I'm always so thrilled to be done with one. If you're not familiar with what panning is, it's basically getting through a product in a given amount of time, a goal you set yourself, till you hit pan on that product. So if it's a palette, it's hitting the metal on the bottom of that shadow or anything in a compact, and if it is like a full-size product like a mascara, it is giving yourself a goal to use it up. I started this on July 23rd, so it's been a little over 2 months. Throughout this video, I will insert clips from my intro video so you can see where I started. If you want to see the full version, I will have that below, as well as links to other videos that I've done, like my other project pans. If you enjoy this type of video, do let me know by giving this a thumbs up, and let's go ahead and get into it. Just like my intro video, I will be starting with Wet n Wild. A couple months ago, there was a lot of controversy surrounding their cruelty-free status. I still don't know what's going on there. I know they released a statement, but I'm still not purchasing from them. I'm just confused. I'm still confused, and I haven't really taken the time to look into it further. So I did throw them into my project pan for that reason. I did forget a product, and I realized it like probably a month after doing my intro video. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Rose in the Air palette. It's a total dupe for Modern Renaissance. I probably will throw this into my next project pan unless there's some kind of clarity around their cruelty-free status or something changes. But anyway, for my first product that is in this project pan that I did not forget, this is the Mega Cushion Foundation SPF 15 in the shade Light Ivory. It's very hard to tell how much of this I have used. I bought this solely off of Tati's recommendation. It does come with a little like spongy kind of guy. I don't use this. I use my Real Technique sponge, which is still damp, so I'll show you guys how it works. You just press your sponge in, and then the foundation will come off. Now, I actually really enjoyed using this product, but I will say initially I really liked it when I did my Drugstore Virgin. I did that last year, but I will say I didn't realize that this does not work for me as a summer shade for foundation. And I was like, shit, so how else am I going to use this? The way I've been using this is very quickly. I have been putting it under my eyes as concealer on days where I don't want to do a lot of makeup. I wake up very early, sometimes for shipment for work. Did I just say shipment? I'm pretty sure I did. Shipment for work. I wake up very early, so I have been using this as quick concealer or spot concealer, and it's been fine for that. It is very hard to see how much of it I have used and how much of it I have left. I will say before this project pan, I had only used it for my Drugstore Virgin video and maybe 1 or 2 other times. So I have certainly used it more than I would have without putting it into a project pan. And I think I did fairly well on it for it not being in my shade. I did try to use it up as much as possible. It's not dry or anything, so it's definitely not towards its end of its life. I would give myself, I like to give myself a grade on my project pan products just because I feel like it's a good indicator of how I did with that product. So I would give myself a C on this one. And for the next product, I have some lipsticks. Now, I have 2 of the same one. This one I started to open and realized I should probably preserve it till I'm done with one. I only gave myself the goal of using up 1 of these lipsticks. This is Mochalicious from Wet n Wild. I don't know if it's a specific like type of formula or this is just like their generic, their regular lipstick formula. Either way, I do not like it. It is way too drying. I only bought Mochalicious because of Raw Beauty Christy. She always uses it like in the center of her lips to avoid butthole lips. Not a good look. I totally get why she does it, but for me, it's very red toned. It's very bricky. I'll put it on now actually so you guys can see it. It's very bricky in tone. I just don't like it on me. It's like a bricky kind of brown. I certainly don't think I could pull off using this all over my lips. And then also too, if I did, I feel like it would just be so drying on my lips. I did not do well with this. There's a lot left in there. I really did try to use it in the center on occasion, but other than that, I totally failed on this one. This is probably like an F. I will probably end up giving the other one away to someone else just because I don't like this formula and I don't enjoy trying to use it up. But the next thing I did really well with, so this is the Color Icon Bronzer in Ticket to Brazil. I'm scared to actually hold this up. In a video, I think it was a get ready with me, you guys actually saw me hit pan on it and I was so excited. And then a few more times of using it, the hole got bigger and bigger and eventually it just completely shattered. I will try to show you what it looks like. Oh God, there's crumbles coming out of it. It's not worth it to me to try to repress this to make it work. I literally have been just taking my big bronzing brush and putting it on that way. Maybe I will crush it all down and make it into like a loose powder. I do actually really enjoy this bronzer. It is very light. I definitely have to build it up, which is great when you're trying to do a project pan. I always put bronzer on my cheeks, of course, and then I'll put some like right along here, my jawline, on my neck if I'm wearing a foundation that's a little bit off, and then I will also put it on my forehead, like in my hairline. I have to say with this one, there's a little bit of like a luminosity to it that I can't even see on my cheek, but whenever I put it up here, it always accentuates fine lines, so I have to remind myself not to do that. I just kind of do it out of habit, and I kept doing it with this one and hating it. It's a fine bronzer. I really liked it. I would give myself an A on this one because I really did hit pan. That was my goal, so that's where I am with that. I don't think I would repurchase it either way. I still much prefer my butter bronzer. And now I have crumbly bits all over this desk. And the last thing from Wet n Wild is this highlighter. This is in Blossom Glow. It is a pink highlighter and it's kind of like silvery tone to me. So when I started this, you guys can see it there. You could see a lot of that, like I'm going the wrong way. You could see a lot of that floral print in there, and now you can see, I don't know how much more there is till I hit pan on that, but I really don't think there's much more. I will swatch it. One last attempt to hit pan. I still haven't. That's what it looks like on the back of my hand. I do have it on. I actually have it on my lids today as well. That is one other way that I decided would be a good way to kind of get through it. I would use it on my brow bone to give like a little bit of a highlight, or in the inner corner sometimes too. It is a nice highlighter. I wouldn't say it's completely blinding. A lot of people find it to be very blinding. Maybe it is the kind of brush that I use. That could totally be it. But a lot of times I do find that I have to build it up on my cheeks. I would give myself maybe a D with this one because I did reach for other highlighters pretty often. I did try to use it up as much as possible. Getting through highlighters and project pans is so hard because you use so little of them. I have to remember that the next time around and maybe give myself a little bit longer to finish my goal. This baby, I am giving myself an A+ on. So this is the Prism palette from ABH. I said in my intro video, I threw this in here because it is my most ignored eyeshadow palette. I really do love the color story of it, but for some reason, I never reach for it. I don't know if it's just like the way it's arranged. There's some really good colors in there, but there's no like, that's what I should do. It's always the same colors every time. So I will show you the big reveal. I actually hit pan on 3 shadows. My goal was 2. I thought for sure in my intro video that it would be Lure and Saturn. Purples and oranges are definitely my wheelhouse. Those are my favorite kinds of colors. And I really forced myself to not reach for Saturn. Before I started this project pan a year ago when I was using this palette, I feel like I was only reaching for those 2 colors, Eternal and Parallel, the brown shade as well. So I really forced myself to kind of get outside my comfort zone and do different kinds of pairings. So I also hit pan on Sphere, which was very easy. You have to build this color up so very much. It's like a lemon lime kind of color. I also hit pan on Unity, which I was using as my base shade. So again, that was very easy to hit pan on. And then Lure, lastly, like I said, the purple shade as well. This is the reason why I enjoy doing project pans, because this palette otherwise would have been ignored in my collection. It would have sat there another year probably. I am happy I have this. It's not anything I regret buying. It just didn't inspire me. And now I feel like I'm a lot more familiar with this palette and I can easily pair it with other ones. And I can remember the shades instantly in this one that would go well with other palettes. So I did pretty well with this one. I would give myself an A+ here. Next, I have two products from Too Faced. This one I would never actually buy. It came in a set, and I believe it's just like the half size version. This is the Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. Anytime I see the word matte, unless it's in a lipstick, I run in the other direction. I am way too dry for that. So this one came in a set. I believe it came with the Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder. That's my favorite. It's one of my holy grail powders. It also came with a Better Than Sex mascara, this, and then also a setting spray in the same family. This is fine. It just doesn't really do anything, I don't really feel. I much more prefer my Tarte Smoothing Primer, and I kept kind of reaching back for that one even though I knew I was doing a project pan. I think when I started this one, I was about 2/3 of the way here. I had maybe used it once or twice before this project pan, and now I'm about 1/3 of the way. It really was limiting in the way I could use it. I could only really use it on my nose. I didn't really want to use it all over my face. I give myself a D here. I could have been better about using it, but I wanted my makeup to look good and I wanted my pores to be invisible like the Tarte one does, not this one. So I would not repurchase this product. I'm happy to be done with this product. It's not a bad primer. I'm assuming if you have combo or oily skin, it might work better for you. I just couldn't really use it the way I probably should have been using it. I will say, however, it smells pretty nice. It's that nice light peachy scent that is in the Too Faced Peach family. It's not very light in the setting powder. It can be very strong, especially if you get some in your mouth. I have tasted that on numerous occasions, but it is much lighter in the primer. Next, I have the Love Flush Blush in the shade How Deep Is Your Love. I don't believe they make these anymore. They definitely aren't at Ulta anymore. I know that for sure, but maybe at Sephora. I actually really love this blush, and the only reason why I decided to pan it is because it is the longest one I've had in my collection, and I hit like a tiny little pan on there. You can see I have actually been I've really been working at that divot because I was trying to get that pan. I've been taking this and actually putting it, like I will use either that highlighter that I showed earlier from Wet n Wild or some other kind of shimmer and putting that on the inner part of my lid, and then I've been taking this and just kind of smudging it on the outer. Quick makeup days, not anything fancy, just when I want to do something really fast and just to kind of get through this product. I of course have been also using it as blush. Again, it is kind of hard to pan a blush. You use so little product. I put it on pretty heavy today. I love strong blush, especially in the fall. Beautiful shade. I don't really want this to be completely gone and out of my collection. I just wanted to get a little bit more use out of it. And I would say I would give myself maybe a C on this one. I could have used it more, but there are other blushes in my collection that I wanted to use. I forgot to mention this, and I guess I'll just throw it in here. Whenever I do a project pan, I try to make it so that I have all the products to do a full face of makeup. It just makes it a lot easier when you're trying to get through everything, and then it's also a lot easier than trying to pan like 5 blushes at the same time. I couldn't forget brows. So this is from Ofra. This is the Universal Brow Pencil. I spotted this in my makeup kit. I don't know if I've ever used this on myself personally, maybe once or twice, but I never use pencils. I had this in my makeup kit for weddings, and probably because of the universal shade, that's probably why I threw it in there. I don't think I purchased this. I think I got it from Ulta for free at some point. I will also say in my intro, I was not sure if they still made this product. I have checked. It is on Ofra's website. I always use the Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel. If you've been watching me, you already know that. I also will occasionally use Dip Brow if I'm doing like a full glam. I also really like the Urban Decay Brow Blade, but I never use a pencil. For some reason, they've always kind of intimidated me. This has made me realize I actually really like using a pencil. I have been going in with this, and then I have been using the Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel with it, and that's what I did today. I feel like it just gives me a little bit more definition. When I started this thing was like pretty up there. It was a pretty full pencil. It's not down to a nub like I wanted it to be. That was my goal, but I still think I did pretty well. I give myself, I guess like a B- on this one because I did really try. I don't do makeup every day, but even when I'm doing doing just light makeup, I pretty much always have my brows done and I always have mascara in. So I think I did pretty well with this, and I would actually recommend this pencil. Even though I don't really have much to compare it to, I don't feel like they transfer, they don't move. The tip's really nice, even though it's not old, but I'd say maybe like a couple years. I thought maybe it would be a little dry, and I didn't have any issues with it. So it's been good, and it kind of made me discover that I like using brow pencils. The next two things are here not because I don't like them, but because I have other things in my collection that I enjoy using more. So the first one I will discuss is from Smashbox. This is the Always On Liquid Liner. I had said in my video that I just never reach for this, and I really don't, but the truth is I don't reach for liquid liner the way that I used to. Once upon a time, I always did a wing liner, even if I wasn't really wearing any makeup. It was wing liner, mascara, brows, and that was it. And if I was doing full glam, like a full face of makeup with eyeshadow, I had to wear wing liner, and I just don't feel the same way anymore. A lot of times now, I will either just take a regular eye pencil and smudge it out, or I'll use a darker kind of eyeshadow shade. I'll use that along my lash line. I just don't reach for liquid liner the way that I used to. So using this up was hard for me, and I didn't do very well. I give myself like a D on this one. I just kind of forgot about it. I feel like with all my project pans, I either do amazingly with an item or I completely forget about a product till 2 weeks before my finale, and then I'm like, shit, you never use that, throw it on now, try to use it up, and that's what I did today, and that's why I used it. For liquid liner, it really isn't bad. I had said in my intro video that I remembered this being kind of flimsy, the felt tip. I didn't really have those issues. It doesn't run, it doesn't transfer. Not a bad liquid liner. I do feel like you do need a little bit more control to use it, but that is most liquid liners. Not a bad one. I probably wouldn't repurchase it though, just because I have other things that I enjoy more. And then next, I got this as a sale set, I believe, or maybe I purchased it on its own on sale. It was at Sephora, and I know I got some kind of discount on it. This is the Perversion Mascara. This is supposed to be like a very black mascara. I have it on now. You guys tell me if you think that about it. I don't really see a huge difference from this one and other black mascaras. It's not a bad one though. I will say it's not dry at all, so I don't think I did very well with this one. Even though I wear mascara pretty much every day, and I did religiously reach for this one, except for on occasions when I was filming with a different mascara. For the most part, I really did try to use this one up as much as possible, and still it is very wet in the tube, and I know that I still have a lot of this left. So I didn't do very well with it. It's not a bad mascara. I probably wouldn't buy it again. I keep saying this just because I have things I like more or other new things that I want to try, but I wouldn't not recommend this mascara. I could have been better with trying to pan it. Maybe it'll be in the next one. Hopefully it'll be gone by the time I have my next project pan. After those two fails, I have something I did very well with. From Winky Lux, this is the Matcha Lip Balm. I will twist it up to show you guys. It is completely gone. There are some remnants down at the bottom there. I will have to use a Q-tip to get out. It is green in color, but it is just completely translucent when you put it on your lips. I bought this through Birchbox, and the name intrigued me. I wanted to see what the matcha kind of tasted like. Nothing, no matcha, no hint of green tea. It is all vanilla. It was fine. It's a lip balm. I guess it's protective for a little while, but I do feel like it just wears off, and I would not repurchase this. I love the packaging though. I think it's so cute. Just like last time, I believe it was my non-cruelty free project pan. I used it the same way I used the fresh lip balm. When I got down to the very end, I was taking a Q-tip and digging some out and putting it on my heels. I used the Q-tip so it was still hygienic. I wasn't going from like my feet to my lips or anything like that, but just to use it up. That's a little tip if you're trying to get through a lip balm or something like it. I would not repurchase this. I think there are probably better things out there. It's just like any other lip balm, but I definitely get an A+ on this one. Almost done. I have a couple more items. These count as one. These are the Jouer Metallic Lip Creams. I got a set of 6 of these in my Beautylish Unlucky bag, as I said last time. I will probably end up getting the Lucky bag again just because it was fun opening up and seeing what I got, but there was nothing in there that I loved except for the Hourglass Extreme Caution Mascara, and I already had it. So I got these in that set For this project pan, I picked the 2 lightest shades just because it's summertime. I still have 4 others that I have never touched. So these I tried one time to wear on my lips. I'll go ahead and swatch them. I have Papaya, so it's like a peachy kind of shade. And then I also have Praline, which is kind of pinky. I wore these one time on my lips and it looks so ridiculous. I just don't like metallic lips on myself. So the way I have been using them, it does not say that you can do this anywhere, but I have been using them on my lids. Because they do dry down like a liquid lipstick does, I didn't have any issues with them smudging or smearing, and it just gave me a little bit of shimmer. So that's how I've been using them. I also didn't experience any staining, but maybe if I try to do that with the other darker shades, that would happen. This formula is great. The lip creams themselves from Jouer, they feel so nice on your lips. They're very hydrating. They do dry down like a matte formula will, but they don't feel like super drying. I love them so much. I actually wore one of them on my wedding day, Petal de Rose. I think I say that every time I bring up these lipsticks, but I do really like the formula. I just don't like the metallic, so I will probably end up giving the other few away. Maybe I'll try wearing them on my lids. I did not do very well with these. I tried, I'd say maybe once every couple weeks I would remember to throw one on my lids. I don't know why I gave myself the task of trying to use so many lip formulas up during this project pan. It was just kind of impossible to use them all. I could have been better, so I would give myself a D on this one as well. I forgot to say too, they smell like vanilla buttercream. They have such like a really nice sweet fragrance to them. If you're not into scents though, in your makeup, you wouldn't like that, but they taste pretty good. So for the next thing I have from ColourPop, the All-Star Setting Spray. I was kind of forced into getting this one. I did a full face using ColourPop for the first time ever last year on my channel, and at the time this was their only setting spray, and it is a mattifying one. Like I said, I don't do matte. I did use it up though, however, it is gone. I don't use MAC Fix Plus to wet my brushes before getting into shadows because it's not cruelty free, so I use this in its place and I used it up. I did a few times also spray it onto my face and it didn't really feel drying. I didn't use it as a setting spray, but I used it like pre-makeup just to see what it would do and to use it up, so I get an A on this one as well. And that's it for my project pan finale. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can let me know by giving this video a thumbs up or leaving me a comment below. Most likely I will be doing the 12 pans of Christmas. I did it last year and it was a lot of fun. You can do it with me. That would be cool. Pick 12 products in your collection you wouldn't mind hitting pan on or getting through. I will most likely be starting it the first or second week of November, so I will have a video up then, my intro, and then the deadline is December 25th, so that would be fun to do together. If you have tried any of the products I mentioned today, let me know what your thoughts are on them below. And if you haven't yet already and you want to see more of me, more of my remarks, you can go ahead and subscribe now. I thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon.